Hey everyone, welcome to another What I Eat in a Day video. This was a really cozy day at home and I made vegan chili, I made cornbread, I made a lot of good stuff actually, so I hope that this gives you some good meal ideas. I also kind of spruced up my place for fall and just gave it a nice refresh. I'm going to show you a little before and after, and I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. Thank you to Our Place for teaming up with me, and don't forget to subscribe if you like What I Eat in a Day videos, and let's get started. My day started with a big glass of water and a hot cup of coffee with oat milk. I really like pumpkin spice creamer and all of that this time of year, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. It's coming. Then I went ahead and I just made some toast, and I made a batch of tofu ricotta at the beginning of the week. This holds up really well in the fridge, so I like to make a big batch and then use it for easy meals like this. I have this gorgeous tomato, so had to use that ASAP, and whenever I cut a tomato, I like to use a serrated knife. I find it so much easier. I put some basil on top of the ricotta and then the tomatoes on the basil, sprinkled with a little salt, and that was that. I sliced up a pear on the side just to make this a little bit more filling, and it was really nice because I had kind of a sweet and savory combination going, and I had a good mix of fiber, protein, healthy fats. It was so good. My bangs are at that stage where if I put them behind my ears, they'll stay if I stay very still. But if I start moving around too much, they fall out of place and they fall into my eyes, and it's really annoying. So I'm trying to be still, but nothing makes me want to move and fidget more than when I try to be still. So if my body language is awkward, it's because I'm preoccupied with my bangs. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day so far. I've had a little bit of a chaotic morning, to be honest with you, because especially on filming days, I tend to be extra clumsy because I think I'm filming and I'm trying to get all these shots, and like I love when there's beautiful light in the morning, you know, coming in through the window. Like right now there's like really pretty light patterns on the carpet coming in from the window, and I'm just like, oh, I want to get every single shot, you know, but that makes it to where I'm like constantly moving my tripod and doing all these different things, so I end up knocking things over, which is what happened today. Had a little bit of a mishap in the kitchen and it took a while to clean up, so I feel a little discombobulated, but I know that tonight is going to be a lot cozier because first of all, I'm gonna be making chili and cornbread, which I'm so excited about. I feel like that just sounds so cozy, and I'm also gonna be decorating for fall, make it feel extra warm and cozy because fall is my favorite time of year. My birthday's in fall, and I just love this time of year right before the holidays. I'm gonna heat up a quick lunch right now. I have a broccoli and spinach soup that has like garlic and oregano. It's really good, and I have leftovers of that because I'm gonna be doing a fall soups video really soon, and I've been recipe testing that recipe, so I already have that in my fridge ready to go. So I'll just go ahead and heat that up with some snacky bits, whatever I find, probably some grapes or something, and make some lunch, and then I will finish my work for the day so that we can get started on cornbread, vegan chili, and decorating. I've been making pretty much some version of this lunch basically every day this week with a soup and then some crackers and pretzels and hummus and either grapes or a pear on the side. It just is so easy to whip up, and I actually love putting the pretzels in the soup almost like little croutons, and then having it with hummus and crackers on the side just makes it a lot more filling. After lunch, I made myself a cup of Earl Grey tea, and then I sat down to finish my work for the day. I had a couple hours left in the beginning part of the afternoon, so I wanted to get everything done so we could get to the fun part. All right, so excuse the awkward bare shelves behind me. I kind of took out all the decor stuff and I started cleaning, but then I realized that if I don't get started on making dinner soon, that I would get way too into decorating and go way past the point where I felt like cooking, and then I would just end up eating like the most random dinner ever, and that's not what I want. I've been dreaming about chili and cornbread and my kitchen smelling like cornbread pretty much all day, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that, and I'm gonna be making one of my favorite chili recipes, and I'm gonna do like a semi-homemade cornbread hack that you can use for any store-bought cornbread, which I think you guys will really appreciate because sometimes you want homemade but you don't want to do everything from scratch. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to be making the chili in my brand new Perfect pot, which might look familiar to you because it is the perfect companion to my Always pan. This one is in the color Stone, which is one of my absolute favorite colors, and I just think it is so beautiful beautiful. It's also huge. This holds 22 cups. So especially if you're a meal prepper like me, I like to, if I'm gonna make chili, I like to make a lot of chili and I'll keep some in the fridge for lunches or for dinners. And I'll probably freeze some too. Maybe I'll give some to my sister. So I like having a really big pot so that I can make big batches. Especially if you live alone and you live in a small space, you might think that having small pots and pans is better or more practical, but I honestly think the more pots and pans you have, the more clutter you're gonna have, and that just doesn't make it very fun or practical to get into the kitchen. So I like that when you have this perfect pot plus the always pan, it replaces 16 different types of cookware, but you only need to have these two. And again, they look really pretty, but they're a lot more than just pretty. The inside is non-stick and non-toxic, and as you can see, I'm literally holding it with one hand because it's so much lighter than a traditional Dutch oven. If you've ever tried to do this with a Dutch oven, you are way stronger than I am because those are seriously so heavy, and this is kind of surprisingly light, I would say, but it's really well made. It works really well, conducts heat evenly, and because it has this non-stick coating, it's really easy to clean. What I usually do if I'm meal prepping is I'll go ahead and make like a big pot of soup or something, and then I'll transfer the soup to my containers, and while it's all kind of still warm, I'll immediately rinse it with warm soapy water, just a sponge, and everything comes out super clean, and it makes it a lot easier because I don't have a dishwasher, which is crazy because I'm a recipe developer and obviously there's a lot of dishes involved, but this makes it a lot easier for me. So if you guys want to check out the perfect pot, then go ahead and click the link in the description box below. And now I'm going to go ahead and actually use it so we can make our chili. One thing I really try to emphasize on my channel is that you can have cozy home-cooked meals without making every single thing from scratch. You can definitely take a little bit more help from the grocery store than maybe it may seem, and you'll still have a very cozy, healthy meal at the end of it. So what I like to do is, especially with cornbread, I'll use a mix, and I found this one from Marie Callender's. It's actually organic and it has vegan directions right on the back, which I was really pleased to see. I'm just preparing my pan, and then I'm going to prepare this a little bit differently than the package directions say too. When choosing a plant milk to substitute for a recipe like this, I recommend using unsweetened soy because the natural protein in the soy milk will mimic the protein that is in the dairy milk and eggs in a traditional recipe. And that, plus the use of a flax egg and a little bit of applesauce, will create the same effect without having to use animal products. The protein in the egg, the pectin in the applesauce, the little bit of fat that I added from some coconut oil, and also the flaxseed works to kind of create the same fat, protein, and liquid ratio that an egg would. So you'll get the same bind, you'll get the same lift, you'll get the same structure, but without animal products. I'm going to put my go-to chili recipe down below, but I make this so often that I really tend to change it up every time. This time I used scallions instead of onions because that's what I had, and I usually only just chop the onions. Like, that's the only thing that requires chopping. Everything else you just throw into the pot. And what I like to do is saute the onions, or the scallions in this case, with some vegan sausage for lots of flavor. And then I will add some chili mix. Now, usually I use the mild or spicy. The spicy one is really good, but it is spicy. But I love to add it at this stage because when you add it to the warm pan, all the spices kind of come back to life. It's called blooming, and that really kind of reinvigorates all those flavors and just makes it extra delicious because you're kind of toasting the spices. Then I'm gonna add my beans. Now, normally I do beans and lentils, but on this day I did a mix of some of my favorites along with some diced tomatoes and frozen corn. So as you can see, you add your chopped onions and then you just kind of crumble in your sausage and add a bunch of like pantry staples, frozen corn, and then you let it do its thing. You just bring it to a boil. If you're anything like me, you'll have a snack while you're doing this. I had some more crackers and hummus, and then I turn down the heat to very low, cover it, and I let it simmer to thicken up. And after a couple minutes, my cornbread was ready, so you can imagine my kitchen was smelling incredible by this point. I was really happy with the way this turned out. Later on, you're gonna see me cut it, but first, let's get back to decorating. This is perfect timing because I just hung my TV on the wall, and there's cords that hang down, and it's not a big deal. I was honestly gonna leave it, but I just randomly Googled like how can you hide cords without putting a big hole in the wall, and I saw this thing on Amazon. I'm not very crafty with this kind of thing, but I think I might actually be able to do it myself. All right, I had to pull up the instructions because it didn't come in the box, but it says clean wall, measure and draw a straight line. Side note, one of the most boring but useful purchases I've ever bought, a yardstick. I can't tell you how many times this comes in handy. I don't always use it for measuring or drawing straight lines. Sometimes I use it to reach for certain things, which I don't think is its intended purpose, but this really comes in handy. Does that look straight? I can't tell if that's straight. Clean the channel surface. Paste the double-sided tape and attach the cable duct to the wall. Place the cords inside. So this is what it looked like before with the cords, and this is after. So I think it really made a big difference. And then I had to put on something cozy, so I started Gilmore Girls from the very beginning. I wasn't quite ready for my Halloween movies just yet, but this was really nice to put on. And then I don't go crazy with decorating. I really just kind of switch out the more brightly colored pillows for more cozy stuff. I add a throw blanket. I love to clean as I go with the Mrs. Meyer's apple cider scent. That smells so good. And I'll pull out some fall candles as well. This one is really, really nice around the holidays. I like to also use what I have, like this dried popcorn and these dried black beans. I'll put them on the shelves in my kitchen, and I just think it looks really nice and fall-like. And I also went through and I found a lot of my mostly just coffee cups. I love fall coffee cups, so that's like most of what my decor is. But this is what it looked like afterwards. It was so cozy, like instant cozy, and it smelled really good. But at this point I was getting really hungry, so I decided to just throw together a quick salad to have with the chili, and I just did some mixed greens, and instead of chopping it up, I just kind of break up the larger pieces with my hands, and then I added this vegan Caesar dressing from Trader Joe's. I think it's really good. So I did that and I just tossed it all together, added some pumpkin seeds on top for a nice crunch, but also some added nutrients, fiber, protein, lots of good minerals. And this is what the chili looks like when it's all done. I love to top it with some vegan cheddar cheese. I love how the cheese gets really melty on the hot chili. And then I will add some sour cream because this was actually pretty spicy. So I went ahead and cooled things down with some vegan sour cream. And then I love adding either diced red onion or some chopped scallions. This was the green part of the scallions with some black pepper. And oh, it was so good. I had another helping after this, but I didn't film that part. I also added some black pepper to my salad, which I thought was really nice with the Caesar dressing. And then of course, the whole star of the show, my favorite part of the night, the cornbread. Oh my gosh, it turned out so good. It was nice and sweet. It had that kind of crisp crust on the outside and on the corner, but then the inside was nice and tender, and it had that little bit of like grittiness that cornbread has, so it was perfect. And then I had that with my chili, and honestly I could have eaten the whole tray of cornbread on my own, but the chili was really good. Like I said, I went back for seconds, and I liked having that little bit of salad on the side as well. It just felt really well balanced, hearty, abundant, very plant focused, and I love eating meals like this, especially as fall season is rolling around. It's like big flavors but cozy, hearty, homey food, you know? Like what is better than that? But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification if you haven't already so you can keep up with all of the fall content coming your way. All the recipes that you saw in this video are going to be in the description box below, and that is also where you will find the link to try our place and get your own perfect pot. I really think you guys will enjoy it, so check out the description box, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye everyone.